more and more studies showing that marriage benefits the man and completely depletes the woman. And the women are not surprised by this information. It's the men that are triggered by this, which only means that they don't like that we are catching on. I'm seeing it constantly in the community of single moms by choice. There are so many of us that live the traditional life, had a partner, even some of us have had kids with a previous partner, and we quickly realized that for the benefit of men, not for us, and not even for our children, as much as you might think like, oh, traditional homes and mom plus dad equals kids is the best way to raise your kids. And it's actually not true.
Oh man, she's so full of crap. Oof, God. Okay, so let's break this down. I'm going to have to do a show. It gets a little technical. That's why I haven't done it yet. That breaks down the lack of credibility on these studies where they cite that women are happier. There is zero credibility on these studies. Zero. In fact, we could break down. They've all been discredited. It's actually comical that they're cited. And they're not even citing studies, actually. They're citing articles that they think cited studies, but they actually didn't cite studies. So it's like for the brain dead. Regardless, okay, so there was no credibility. I stand by that. No credibility that women are better off single, okay? Most single women are miserable. Most single women who have children are struggling. Now, I would ask her, honey, she's got this, single moms by choice. What money are you using to take care of the kids? I'll wait. Is it your money? Or did you divorce and get a whole bunch of his money and now you are using his money to take care of the kids, but he's not there? So I love this. I don't need a man even in that respect, but I'm going to use his money. Well, then you do need a man, right? So basically what, you didn't want to co-parent, right? Because you had to have it your way or the highway all the time. So now you took his money, left, and now what? The children are the ones who suffer? Can't stand all of this. I'm not saying that there aren't cases where there's abuse. I'm not saying there aren't cases where there's an extreme circumstance where children and whether there is a warranted separation, particularly with the issue of abuse, right? That's not what they're talking about. That's not what she's saying. She didn't reference that. She's saying that children, actually, she goes as far to say, are better without the structure of mom and dad. Honey, show me the studies on that. I'll wait. There is no evidence. In fact, there's a ton of evidence that shows that young children who grow up in a household with a mom and with a dad, barring things like abuse and whatnot, are in a much better and healthier predicament than those who don't. Okay? So she's basing this off nothing. And a lot of women will say, I can handle it all. And then what happens is we see them make a video a year later having a nervous breakdown because now they have to handle it all. And they're tired. They're exhausted. They are stressed out. There are financial burdens involved. And they have a breakdown about it. So this is horrible advice to women. Now, maybe, just maybe, if you're like Charlize Theron, or you have a boatload of money because you divorced your husband and took all his money, and now you have, 2 nannies and an au pair, and you're raising your child alone, meaning that you get to make all the decisions, and you have, 7 boyfriends, and maybe that works for you. A, it's not the best circumstance for your child, and B, that's not what's going to happen for most women. Okay, that's not what it's going to look like when they're alone without their husband. It's going to be hard. And a single mom is something that does happen, right? It does happen. It's unfortunate when it does happen. It's not something you should strive for, honey. It's not something that should be celebrated. Now, I don't know what kind of relationship you were in or what happened, but this is when bitter women give terrible advice, right? She's obviously very upset. Something went down there. I don't know, maybe she got cheated on, something like that. Who knows? But this is horrible advice to women. I don't know what kind of guys they're picking either. Maybe you should look at your own judgment and take some accountability on that point. But women who try to handle everything on their own sink to misery. I will tell you that. I have seen it time and time again. So what she's saying is not true.